options, what we are going to see is data validation. All of us know that many times we get into problem mainly because the data is not correct. All our working suddenly goes for a toss when we come to know that my input is wrong. And then because of that, whatever very good formula I have used, VLOOKUP, I have used a macro, I did so many things, but then unfortunately what has happened? My end result is bad because my input data is not accurate. Let us say the first of the case, have a look at it. This is what we are going to do. Only numeric between 0 to 100. One of the cases could be we are giving a mark sheet. I've just taken an example of a mark sheet where 100% is the maximum mark. So, and the lowest mark could be 0. Maybe they have not answered or they simply did not write anything. So the number, what we are going to enter can only be between 0 and 100 or 0 to 100. Suppose somebody enters 125. I think the seniors would be remembering sometimes in the state board exams and all, out of 100, some students used to get 129 and all. Then they used to take back the mark sheet and all. That is because there is no validation in the data when we proceed. So Excel gives you an excellent options on data validation, right? So we will see that first. So we want to go for a data validation at these things. Now, can somebody assist me to where should I find a validation, data validation in Excel? Can somebody assist me, please? Help me, please.
Under data.
Anyone?
Under data.
డేటా వాలిడేషన్ అంటే ఏంట్రా బాబు? ఇక్కడ ఎక్కడో ఉంటుంది, ఇంకో డేటాలో ఉంటుంది.
Data.
We will have to go to. So please, please
there is a tab called data validation.
Yeah, we have to go to data. So see, these are all the menu, main menu, home, insert, draw, page layout, formula, data, review, view, and all is there. So we have to go to data. So we will go to data and click, right? Then after that, where we shall go? What are all things available? Let's have a look at it. We have got a get and transform data, queries and connections, data types, sort and filter, data tools, forecast. So we want a data validation. So nothing, we are not going to get any data. We are not going to make any query. We are not talking of data type. We are not going to sort and filter. We are not going to do any forecast. We are not going for an outline. That means, Sastriji, can you just put off your mic because it will be disturbing others. Thank you very much. Now, data tools. This is the place where we are supposed to find the data validation. Now we go to data tools. We go to data tools, and where is the data validation? This is the data validation. This is how you find the data validation here in this place. I am using a Microsoft 365, the latest version. So depending upon the versions, the menu can be different. It may not be very, very different, but it will be in data only. The icons could be rearranged in such a way, in some other way. But then please understand, this is how we go for the data and then data tools, and you go for the data validation. In data validation, we have got a data validation, circle invalid data, clear validation rule. Now what we will do, we will simply go to data validation, right? We have gone. Now there is a settings, input message, error alert. Now first let us go to settings. It says allow any value. Normally it will be allowing any value. So let's look at the options. What are all the options? Can somebody read it from the screen, please? I'm only trying to check up whether you are able to see my screen, not that I am not able to read. Can somebody read?
Yeah, we are able to. So
I can read it.
Any value.
Whole number.
Can somebody read it, please?
Any value, whole number, decimal, list, data, date, time, text length, and custom option.
Okay. What are we supposed to take in this validation now?
Whole number.
In the example, where the mark should be 0 to 100. There is
Whole
no
number.
fraction.
Decimal.
So we take a whole number. The moment I take the whole number, what it asks me, then it asks me whether it should be between or it should not be not between, whether it should be equal to or not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. So what should be the option that I should choose now?
Between.
Between 0 to 100?
Yeah, so between, we have taken an option between. So the minimum should be 0. The maximum should be
100.
100.
100.
Now we have done this validation. Okay. That's now let's write 50 here. Right? Nothing, there is no problem. We will write 101 here. Then what happens? Can somebody read this?
This value doesn't match the data validation restrictions defined for this cell.
So, and what is the icon it is coming? It is a stopping icon, isn't it?
Yeah.
We have got different colors, you know.
Error, right, yeah.
Stop. Yellow means be careful. Green means go ahead. Now, suppose you have made a system and then you are asking your assistant or some newcomer in the organization or in your company to enter the data, and then by mistake he has entered 101. And it says this value doesn't match the data validation restrictions defined for this cell. Will you understand anything if you are a newcomer? What to do next step? So he will retry. He retries. Now he again enters 121. Again it says. So that does it give any meaningful information saying that what has gone wrong? Does it say here? Can somebody answer me? Is there any meaningful message given now, or we can't understand?
It doesn't say
Yes.
it is wrong, but it is restricting the action of the employer who is entering the data.
So he enters again 122. Then what happens? So see, it becomes very difficult for somebody who has not developed the system. Many times you develop a system and hand over to somebody. He does the job. Now let's do one thing. We will go to the data validation again. And we go to input message or we go to error alert. This is the error you got. You remember red color, and a warning means it will be this symbol. Okay, warning means this symbol. Then information means it will only give an information and then proceed. Now what you want? You don't want a wrong data to come into the system. Am I right? So you have to stop somebody from doing this job. So we stopped it. Then we can give an error message. Please enter
Valid data.
figure. No, valid data doesn't know, you know. What is valid data? Only you know. Figures between 1 or 0
100.
and
100.
right?
100.
Now
Okay.
let's see. We'll go back. 50, 60 I enter. Nothing happens. 101 I enter. What is the message now?
Please enter figures between 0 to 100.
100. Now the person who is doing the data entry, he now knows. Yeah, it appears there is a mistake. So I am supposed to do only 0 to 100. Then he goes back and does the correction. Now there is one more thing also can be done if you need. What we can do, we can select the whole range also, because you know that is what we wanted to do. So we go to data validation. Do you want to extend? Yes, we will do that. Now, in this one, you can write an input message. I love docs, but can you please put off your mic mute? In the input message, because you know he is going to be a newcomer, so let us not make him make a mistake and then correct it, isn't it? So prevention is better than cure. So let's do one thing. Initially, for some time to come, what we will do, we can say, please enter figures from 0 to 100. This is the input message, right? Now you just watch what is happening. When I go and click here, it immediately gives him an assistance saying that please enter figures from 0 to 100. So people do not make a mistake. Even if they want, they come to know even before doing the job that a figure has to be done between 0 to 100 only. Is that clear? So we have all these options we have now used. Data validation, We had a setting, we have put a whole number, 0 to 100. Then we put an input message. With this input message will become an irritant after some time, because every time, the moment you go to the cursor, it will put this. So somebody will get irritated. Maybe when that employee or your assistant or your manager, he is now ready with all this information, he is not going to make a mistake, you can remove the input message. See, input message is optional. Error alert is optional, because otherwise it will show whatever error what we saw, which was not, we are not able to understand, that kind of an error will show. So this is the first of the data validations which we saw. If you click here, the input message will come. If you click here, it will come. If you click here, it will come. If you click here, it will come. Right? So this is the first of the validation that we have seen. Right? So what we will do, I will just stop at this point for a second.